When are you going to find the cheapest Disney World tickets, the most affordable hotel rooms, the best flight deals, and the greatest vacation package discounts? Okay, we have done the work. We have crunched the numbers. We've rounded up all the cheapest times to go to Disney World today here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. So Disney World can be more of a stress mess for you and less of a vacation that you're super stoked to experience when there's just so much money on the line. You invest thousands into hotel rooms and tickets, food, flights, gas, money, souvenirs, you name it. But today we're going to take some of that stress away by showing you how you can plan a Disney World vacation for every season during the cheapest times possible. We're going to start with back to school season. So I wanted to get this point out of the way first because it's definitely the one that's continued to help us save money for years and years and years. It's really the only guaranteed slow time at Disney anymore. Disney World does keep busy during the majority of the summer, but things start to quiet down toward the middle and end of August when the students and teachers start hitting the books again. And that's why Disney's fluctuating ticket prices start climbing down instead of creeping up. Let's take a look at how drastically these prices start to drop in 2024. On August 20th and August 26th, you can get a 2-day, 1 park per day ticket with no discounts for $115 per day. If you compare that to just the month before, July 20th, you're going to have to pay $150 per 2-day ticket, and the month before that, June 20th, is $152. That's a savings of nearly $37 a day on tickets if you decide to go in August instead of during the thick of the summer. You're just also going to have to deal with that swampy heat that all the Floridians always warn you about when summer can be at its most brutal. Now, in the past, I've mistakenly eaten a noodle gratin during the Food and Wine Festival toward the end of August when temps were like 90 plus degrees. Not a great choice, but you know what? If I'm saving a bunch of money, I'll do it again. On a similar note, September continues to see much lower ticket prices too, since the park demand isn't as high when school's just cutting back in season. Nobody's going to take their kids out of school like the first week, right? On September 16th, you can get a 2-day, 1 park per day ticket for that $115 per day low price as well. Just keep in mind that Labor Day weekend prices in September are going to creep up a little, the typical Disney trend when a 3-day weekend is afoot, and the prices toward the end of the month tend to spike up a bit too. The middle of September, however, tends to be a sweet spot for discounts. And I'm not just talking about park tickets either, also talking about Disney World hotels. Let's take one of Disney's moderate resorts, Port Orleans Riverside. If you're planning on staying for 3 nights at Port Orleans Riverside with a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 kids, starting on August 20th, you could get a Woods View room here for $296 per night. Just to put that in perspective for you, because I know it still sounds expensive, a value resort room at Disney's cheapest hotel, All Star Sports, during peak season can get up to $260 to $290 per night. So the fact that off-season times like August can get you a moderate resort room for nearly the same price as a value room is not too shabby of a deal. The same Port Orleans Riverside Resort room just a month earlier, starting July 20th, is $320 per night. And the month before that, starting June 20th, the cheapest option jumps up to $331 per night. Again, that's a $35 difference each night, meaning you could wind up saving over $100 just by staying at Riverside around August instead of June or July. And what if you wanted to do a value resort like All Star Sports to save even more money on a Disney hotel? Okay, let's check that out. For 3 nights starting September 16th, you can get a standard room at All Star Sports for $165. Again, these are all no discounts applied. We're going to talk about discounts later, but that's going to knock that price down even more. If I were to book the same All-Star standard room starting July 16th instead, the room jumps up to $182. And if I were to book it in June, $186. So if you're wondering if the time you travel really makes all that big of a difference between how much you end up paying or not, the answer is yeah, it does. It makes a huge difference. But I also know that realistically speaking, not everyone can seamlessly work this downtime around their vacation schedules. I mean, your kids are back in school too, so it's not just everyone else's. So let's see what other savings tactics we can apply to benefit your trip. So Disney wants people in their parks, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get them there, which is why select times of the year are going to have way more discounts that you can sift through versus other times of the year. And I'm not just talking about August, September either. When Disney hits their non-peak times, Disney tries to boost the number of people in their parks all year long. Park and hotel discounts, or a vacation package bundle of the two, usually get announced at least a few weeks before they actually start up. So for example, last year we saw the 4-Park Magic ticket, which is a 4-day 4-park ticket for $99 per day plus tax, announced in mid-May, though the tickets weren't valid until June 1st to September 4th. This year, the same 4-Park Magic ticket deal went live mid-March, and the tickets aren't valid until April 2nd to September 22nd, meaning you can still get them right now if you want them. Remember, you will have to apply that discount yourself. Disney doesn't hide their discounts from you when you're trying to purchase your theme park tickets. They'll promote it right there at the top of the page before you move forward, but there is a regular theme park ticket option that you could select instead. And if you choose it accidentally, the discount won't be applied, even if you qualify for it. So just make sure you're reading everything very carefully and not skipping over any major steps that could cost you more money than you need to spend. When it comes to hotel discounts, Disney tries to release those savings opportunities even sooner for you so you can apply them to your trips well ahead of time. So at least a month in advance, if not sooner than that. Typically, you'll find that the highest percentage off for rooms during select times of year is 30%, though we've seen it spiked up to 40% at times for pass holders and other Disney membership groups and affinity groups. That being said, normally the 30% discount comes with conditions. Here's a super recent example for you. Per the release of this video, you can currently save up to 30% on certain Disney World hotels on most nights up to July 7th. But that's when you stay on site 5 nights or longer, or you can save up to 25% on shorter stays. Now, here's another catch. The highest hotel discounts available, the ones for 30%, can only be applied to select deluxe resort stays. Otherwise, even if you are staying on site for 5 nights or longer, your hotel discount could be less if you're staying in a different kind of resort. Each hotel discount is going to have different restrictions and conditions, which is why you need to make sure you're clicking on the actual discounts themselves via their special offers and discounts page to read up on the fine print and know exactly what these specific deals will and will not do for you. It's also important that when you find a hotel discount that you think works best for your future trip, you book the discount as soon as possible, because discounted rooms do sell out. And if you wait until the last minute, the savings you wanted might not be available anymore. Super confused? Don't be. Just read the fine print to figure out what exactly that discount offers you, where you can stay, how much it'll be, and when you can go. Next, you also want to make sure you're going to Disney World during the weekdays if you can. Because just like folks aren't going to the parks when their kids are in school, fewer people are going to be taking time out of work to go play in the parks during the week. And with fewer people in the parks, there'll be less demand, and less demand means lower prices. So this isn't a foolproof strategy by any means, especially at Disney World. Disneyland is a little bit different because that's more of a locals park, and so you don't see quite as many people during the day on the weekdays. Disney World is more of a vacationers park, so you are still going to see folks there during the week, but you are going to see some price differences. Let's check it out on Disney World's online ticket calendar for this year. If I want to purchase a standard 2-day park ticket toward that last week in September, I can purchase them on Monday the 23rd for $122. But if I wait to purchase them until Friday, 4 days later, the prices jump up to $151 for the exact same ticket. You can see the same sort of thing happen at the end of June. If I want to purchase a 2-day park ticket on Monday the 24th, the price is $147, but if I wait until Friday the 28th, the price is $160. Again, not a foolproof solution. Disney might have their reasons for spiking ticket prices higher during the weekdays too once in a while, but typically speaking, you're going to see ticket prices drop down during the weekdays more often than not, since demand in the parks won't be as intense as it tends to be on the weekends. Now, here's a little trick you can use to save money on your park tickets no matter when you plan on visiting the parks, on the weekend or the weekdays. When you pay for park tickets, you're not actually paying for specific days. Instead, you're paying for a range of days. So let's say you're looking to visit the parks for 5 days in September, and let's say you plan to be in the parks the 26th through the 30th. If I choose September 26th, my actual park start date, as my starting date to buy tickets, the per day cost is $121. Here's where paying for a range comes in handy though. When you choose a ticket start date on the Disney World price calendar, Disney's going to show you the days you're actually paying for. So you're not paying for 5 days consecutively. You're paying for a range of 8 days in which you can choose which of the 5 days within that time frame you want to go to the parks. This means you can pick the cheapest day possible closest to your trip as your start date without actually having to be in the parks on that specific date if you don't want to be. So if I choose September 23rd as my start date to buy tickets instead, the per day cost of said tickets drops to $114. Just keep in mind that this tip is only going to work if you're buying tickets on their own. If you're buying a vacation package, it'll lock you into the days of your hotel reservation. You can see a similar price difference when booking hotel rooms on the weekdays versus the weekends in 2024 too. If I were to book a 3-night stay at Pop Century starting on Monday, September 23rd, a standard room is going to cost me $208. And yet if I were to book the exact same standard 3-night stay but push it to Friday, September 27th, I'm looking at paying $246 per night instead. A $40 per night difference. While fluctuating prices like this can be a headache to work with, it's nice to know you can see all these different increases and decreases out in advance so you're not caught off guard by any of them. So do a little experimenting before you commit to a price point. If you're planning on visiting Disney World during a certain month and you have some wiggle room for when your vacation timeline can start, browse the different pricing options that are listed throughout the month. That way you can avoid booking a trip that's hundreds of dollars more expensive just because you started your vacation a few days later. Now, some of y'all might not even want to think about the holidays just yet, but if you're planning on visiting Magic Kingdom during one of their Halloween or Christmas after-hours parties, then the sooner you can start planning, the better. Magic Kingdom throws 2 holiday-specific after-hours parties on certain evenings at the end of each year. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is the first, and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is the second. While one of the big appeals for both parties is the lighter crowd levels, since only a limited number of tickets are sold for each event, the exclusive entertainment is a big highlight for these events too. Each holiday party has its own stage shows, parades, fireworks, plus you're going to find a variety of rare character meet and greets spread throughout the park like Jack and Sally, all 7 of the dwarfs, the Disney villains, even Santa during that Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And let's not forget about the freebies. During Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, you can head to certain spots in the Magic Kingdom to trick or treat and fill up a bag with complimentary candy. And during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, you can pick up some complimentary cookies and cocoa and maybe some cider while enjoying a Main Street USA filled with flurries of magical Snope. Forewarning, don't stick out your tongue and try to eat the Snope. It's soap, so don't do it. Anyway, we're still waiting to hear more about the specific dates and prices for the holiday parties. But once they're released, pay extra close attention to those price ranges. As it turns out, Magic Kingdom's parties get much more expensive the closer you get to the actual holiday. Take a look at last year's Not So Scary season. This event took place on select nights in 2023 from August 11th to November 1st. The cheapest days you could attend the party were the dates ranging from August 15th to the 29th at $109 per adult. And the most expensive days you could attend were October 29th, 31st, and November 1st at $199 per adult. Literally a $90 difference right there. While Very Merry Christmas price differences from the beginning to the end of 2023 weren't as drastic as what you'll find for Not So Scary, the trend was still the same. The cheapest days you could attend the Christmas party were November 13th, 14th, and 16th, right there at the beginning of the season at $159 per adult, and the most expensive were December 19, 21, and 22 at $199 per adult. Still a $40 difference. Sure, it may not sound as appealing to celebrate Halloween while it's still summer, and yeah, celebrating Christmas only a couple of weeks after Halloween may not sound ideal to you, but you might be able to slip on some early holiday spirit if you want to experience either party at their lowest price points. Now, just a quick word of caution. While most of those early party days are going to be your cheapest options, the very first party or parties of the season are still marked slightly higher because that's when you get to see everything for the first time before everyone else can that year. That's when all the bloggers go, all the vloggers go. All of those folks drive up the demand, so Disney's going to price those a little bit higher. But the second Halloween party is going to be lower. So for example, in 2023, the kickoff party, the first event was $149, but the second one was $109. The third Christmas party cost $159, but the first two were $169. So the kickoff party's not as expensive as the last few parties of the season, but it's still going to be real crowded and it's going to be more expensive. So skip that if you can. We can't because we have to go to the first party so we can do the video about it, right? But you can. Now, for all my major trip organizers out there, or even my wannabe trip organizers just looking for a good starting point amongst an overwhelming amount of Disney planning info, I've got something that I think you're really going to love. Go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen or head to disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyPlans to pick up our free Disney World planning worksheets. Yep, they're free. We send out a lot of them. People really, really like them. We're getting a lot of good feedback on them, so I'm glad that you're enjoying them. Anyway, these worksheets are going to help you organize your future trip's itinerary as well as give you handy timelines that'll show you what you need to accomplish ahead of your trip to set yourself up for success. Okay, so want to visit the parks during one of the busiest times of the year? Let's see if we can shave some money off your jolly visit, even when the prices start feeling like coal in your stocking. Christmas at Disney World is beautiful. You got those decorative themed trees, you got giant gingerbread houses and carousels, you got holiday parades, seasonal treats, you got Epcot's Festival of the Holidays. It really seems like it should be the most wonderful time of the year to visit. But a lot of people think that, which is why the park's demand peaks each time we get to those end of year celebrations. That means everything gets more expensive. Tickets, Genie Plus, park hoppers, and especially hotel rooms. Get a load of this. If I want to book a family suite for a 3-night stay at Disney's Art of Animation Resort starting on August 27th, the cheapest option I can get is a Lion King themed suite for $455 per night. Not too bad. But if I were to book the very same room for the exact same amount of time starting December 27th, the price nearly doubles to $803 per night. Ouch. So how on earth do you save money on a holiday stay when the prices are super discouraging and not very merry and bright? I got 2 suggestions for you. Number 1, be patient. Yeah, everyone loves hearing that, right? But I'm serious. Before you decide to lock in any hotel deals for this upcoming holiday season, hold out a little bit and see if any Christmas deals come out around the summer over on the special offers, deals, and discounts page. Last June, we found 4 different discount opportunities suddenly pop up on the Disney website for resort stays through November and December. While some of these were for specific audiences like annual pass holders, Florida residents, Disney Plus subscribers, one was a general holiday hotel discount available for anyone to use with savings up to 30% off your stay. That usually happens. Even if they create those affinity group discounts, they'll have a general public discount as well. If you do end up booking a trip, whether it be around Christmas or otherwise, and you find a discount pop up not too long after you booked it, don't worry, you can still get that discount applied just as long as you haven't taken your trip yet. Head to the My Reservations tab on the My Disney Experience app, tap Change Reservation, and follow the prompts from there to apply the discount. Now, if you're stumped or if for some reason the discounts aren't working, you can absolutely call up Disney and have a cast member help you find out what's going on. And they should be able to apply that discount for you. Just let them know what it is. Now, suggestion number 2, use membership points. So even Disney's Good Neighbor hotels can start feeling the pricing pressures of that peak season demand. But you can help combat that if you've racked up hotel rewards points over time. Hotel membership for chain hotels like Marriott or IHG work a lot like flight rewards programs. So the more you stay at their hotels, the more points you're going to earn that you can use to help you pay on future rooms down the line. And yeah, you can use these points where applicable around Disney's Good Neighbor hotels too, no matter what time of year you visit. So save your points and use them toward those future holiday stays on Disney grounds so you don't have to worry about paying those peak prices completely out of pocket. All right, I'm fully aware financing a Disney World trip is exhausting and it is expensive, but hopefully the things we talked about today will serve as a jumping off point for you so you can start saving money instead of spending too much of it. Don't forget, we've got those free Disney World planning worksheets ready for you to download over at disneyfoodblog.com/DisneyPlans. So if you haven't already gotten yours, go get them. It's time. They're totally free. It's no problem. And so I think that'll really, really help as we're starting here to book your cheapest trip to Disney World. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I know this has been like a numbers intensive video and I understand that sometimes that can kind of make your head explode, but hopefully it wasn't too bad and hopefully it helped a little bit for you. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.